guys, so this is a requested review. It was actually requested quite a long time ago by Cali Girl, 80291, I think those are the numbers behind her username. She requested a review of the Lancome concealer, and I did shoot it about a month ago, and I just, for some reason, I just could not upload it. So, and then of course I totally forgot about it, and she just happened to request a concealer overview, and I remembered her, and I just, you know, so sweet that she didn't even bring it up, that, you know, she wasn't like, hey lady, where the heck is my freaking review you said you'd do? So thank you so much for being patient, Cali Girl. And right, so rather than just doing the Lancome, I thought I would take this opportunity to sort of do an overview of the concealers that I have, which aren't too many. I'll start off with these two, which you saw in my Holy Grails video, so I won't go too much into it. The only thing I will say is that these are for someone who has very sort of light to moderate dark circles. I don't think this would be used for somebody who suffers from really severe dark circles, whether it be hereditary, whether it be, you know, lack of sleep or a black eye or whatever have you. This is really for somebody who just has very slight sort of dark circles, which I did have until I got into the Lilash, and then I couldn't really use it anymore. But now that I am off Lilash and into Rapid Lash, which, by the way, my lashes are longer than ever. So I don't know if it's because Rapid Lash is just a better product than Lilash for me, or if it's because my lashes are getting so used to Lilash and this is just sort of, you know, a kick in the butt to go, hey, wow. You know, so I'm not quite sure, but they are way longer than they've been in months and months and months. So I digress there. And I did mention also that sometimes I can use this on its own. And I'm showing that to you right now. This is all I'm wearing. I'm wearing no concealer. I am just wearing this corrector, and there are certain days where I can get away with doing that, and this is enough coverage, and it's an amazing product. Well, you know what, I'm just going to leave it because I want to go on and on and on about it, but it's already in that insanely long Holy Grails video. So there's that, and that's what it looks like with, you know, I maybe could have used a little bit of concealer, but I wanted to show you what that looked like just on its own. And then the teeniest bit of powder just to set it. What the heck did I just do with my hair? Okay, right, so let's get into this. Now, this was something that I got, well, the 411 on a site called Makeup 411. And I believe it's sort of a forum that makeup artists use to kind of share their info with other makeup artists, and obviously for us laymen. And I kind of went on that. What they do is they basically share with you if a certain makeup artist is working on a particular actor or model or whoever it is on a show, on a movie. They will sort of list all the products that they used, and then share their favorite ones. And it's a really good site, actually. And I heard a few makeup artists mentioning this. Well, not a few, quite a few mentions of this particular product by various makeup artists. And of course I was like, ooh, wow. That may be one, you know, maybe it's going to be my Holy Grail, because these are, you know, professionals who have access to trying a lot of different products, and this one kept coming up again and again. So I ran out and got it, and I believe it's pretty reasonably priced. It was less than $30 Canadian, probably around 28 or so. And it's the Lancome Effacernes. I think that's the way you pronounce it. I'm really not too sure. But it's a waterproof under eye concealer, so specifically made for the under eye area. And there's absolutely nothing wrong with this. I just happened to come across another product about 2 or 3 weeks after I purchased this, and then sort of went into that a lot more. And this unfortunately sort of fell by the wayside. But again, you know, as things happen, a new product no longer is new, and then, you know, this sort of like, woo, all that flush of excitement over something new kind of fades, and then I'm sure this will come out for me again, and I'll try it even more. So I can't give a fully comprehensive review on this. I do know that it's has a really, really wonderful texture. It's very, very creamy. This one happens to be light bisque. I found it was the sort of yellowest out of the bunch because I really wanted to match my skin tone because I do have a corrector that sort of neutralizes everything, and then I want to match my skin, which is very, very yellow. And there really isn't a fragrance. It really does have a very, very nice texture, and because it's waterproof, you know, especially for the summer months, it really, once it's on there, it kind of sets and stays. And I didn't find that it slipped around too much. And I will say that because it comes from a French house, sort of, you know, my experience with, say, Yves Saint Laurent or Chanel or Christian Dior, Lancome, any of these companies that are really sort of French based, or that's where the genesis was, I found that even when they are yellow, they're not quite yellow enough for me, or the yellow has still some pink running through it, and obviously it's just catering to their particular region. I'm assuming, even though they're worldwide and global companies. I'm just mentioning that more so if I was to compare it to, say, Korres, which just by virtue of location, they're a Greek-based company, so the Mediterranean, the indigenous peoples, we just have, well, not we, I'm not Greek, obviously, but there's more olive tones, there's a lot more yellow in the skin tones. So I find with Korres, when they say yellow, I mean, it is freaking yellow, like crazy yellow, which, hello, I love, 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 because I need that amount of yellow. So I found that this one did go a little bit pink, and it could almost go slightly ashy on certain days, depending on how it was under my eye. But I still really liked it. It wasn't ashy all the time, so it was really, you know, I just had a particularly bad day, or perhaps because my dark circles were getting even darker because of the lyellash, I found that sometimes that would peek through, which would make it a little bit ashy. So the coverage was good, but it wasn't really, really super duper coverage like this next product, which is what I had found, what I'd gone into weeks after purchasing this. So this is the only Makeup Forever product that I actually own. I tend not to go into their line. I find it a bit, I think it's great for makeup artists or people who are very experimental and really love to play with colors. I am the complete opposite. I really, you know, quite boring in my makeup application. I don't tend to wear a lot of electric or bright colors. I'm really sort of a neutral girl, and even though I wear different makeup, as you can see from the videos, I kind of tend to look the same all the time. So, oh, and I did try their aqua liners that were supposed to stay in the waterline, and honestly, within 20 minutes, it was a hot mess all over the place. So I think that experience kind of went, you know what, there's no need to. And, but I did find this, I don't know how I came across this, maybe I'd heard of it, probably seen it on YouTube, and it is a fantastic, fantastic product. Much yellower than the Lancome, so it was a better match for me. I don't know if you're going to be able to see it. I didn't take the Lancome off yet. So as you can see, but well, you know what, you may not be able to, but there's the Lancome. I've sort of spread it out over here. And then this is the Makeup Forever. It's a number 6. And you can see it's a lot yellower. I'll show you that. It's number 6 rather than a number 9. I think most people would probably use this for the face. It is very, very opaque. It's full coverage. I mean, they ain't kidding when they're saying full coverage. It does cover up quite a bit. And I would have to say that it is a little bit tacky in its texture. Now, once that dries and sets, you shouldn't be able to feel that. I certainly didn't feel that under my eyes at all. But the difference between that and the Lancome is very, very creamy. It's very smooth and easy to move. This too is easy to move. It's just, it's got a tackiness to it. And mind you, I did put more than what you would actually use. I mean, I don't know if you'd even be able to see it. I probably use that much, if you can see that, for both my eyes. And I think the reason why it probably doesn't work for a lot of people is because you may be applying it with your fingers or with a 224, a fluffy brush. I found that the reason why this works for me under the eyes, because I don't tend to wear concealer on my face. I just kind of leave it for the foundation or the mineral powder to do that, and I don't really spot. Well, I mean, I won't say I don't do it on a daily basis. I do it when my skin really needs to look completely sort of a bare canvas, which isn't that often. So I found with this, because I use a very, very flat concealer brush that has a lot of give. It's the Scott Barnes one. I found that the MAC or the Sigma, they were a bit too stiff for me. I can put on the thinnest layer of this under my eye, and if I need any more coverage, I can do another layer, but I'm telling you, it is the thinnest. I mean, I don't even know how else to say, but like the thinnest layer you can possibly imagine, because it is that opaque and that high coverage. So I will just put that tiniest little bit, pretend that this is a brush, and just sort of do that and then brush it. And when I mean brushing this, I'm talking it's barely touching my skin. It's almost airbrushing it. And the thinnest amount will do. So I find when it's put on that way, it does its job. It covers the really, really dark circles. But if you use even just that tiniest bit too much, you're gonna not like that effect. It's gonna go very, very cakey. It'll probably go into your lines somewhat. I just find that applying it in the way that I do, it's fantastic for under my eyes. And I did have to go into this when I was using Lilash. Now, I don't really use this anymore, again, unless it's for the face, but it is a really, really, really good product. You get quite a bit. I think this was much pricier than this. If I can remember, I think this was maybe $38 Canadian. And you do get, well, let me see, 15 mil. They do it in different measures, but well, perhaps you might get the same. Again, this is for someone who is really, really quite yellow, who maybe wants something for all-purpose, sort of eyes and face. Again, like I said, you will have to play around with this a little bit if you do want to use it under your eyes. It is a little bit trickier, but if you have the patience for it, I really like the payoff on that, because I can use less product to cover up darker circles, if that makes sense. The next one is a Stila. I think I got this with a gift with purchase. Honestly, I may have tried it out once or twice. Didn't think much of it. So this is actually going to go to a friend who is a little bit darker. So I can't really say too much. I wasn't impressed at all. The next one, it doesn't come in this pot, but this was given to me. And this is the Kevyn Aucoin Sensual Skin Enhancer. This is an amazing, amazing product. It's sort of an all-purpose. He's meant this to be sort of your everything, your foundation, your concealer, if you want to use it to contour. It is unbelievably opaque. It's probably the most opaque product out there that I've ever come across. And I think this takes a lot of working, but the results are really good. I did try it all over the face. I found it to be a little bit too much. The finish was it started to get really oily on me, but that's because I use oils to begin with. If I didn't use really heavy creams, I think this may have worked better, and I think I may try that. I just find if you have the patience to work with this, because for him, you know, I highly doubt that he was just slapping it on people's faces. You know, the way that you do your own foundation would be very, very different than a makeup artist doing it, because to them, you are a canvas. So they're really, there's artistry involved, and it really is about working a product right into your skin. And I can see working this in would give you a flawless finish because it is that opaque. I have used it for those times where I need a completely clean canvas, and it's brilliant at working on hyperpigmentation. I don't know if you're going to be able to see that, but honestly, this amount, it spreads and spreads and spreads and spreads. If I was to do this, it would probably cover the entire back of my hand. That's how much you can move this product. And it is so opaque. You really have to kind of work it to get it sheer enough where it's a second skin, but it's just that. It will wind up looking like a second skin. If you use too much, if you were to buy this product and go, wow, you know, this is Kevyn Aucoin's Sensual, oh, I've heard so much about it, because there's a lot of talk about this product throughout the years, and you were to make the mistake of using it like your normal foundation or concealers, which is just, you know, the appropriate amount. If you were to make that mistake, I think you would really dislike this product. It really is about using very, very, very little. And spreading and working this sucker out, because it will. I mean, it will just spread and spread. I mean, like I said, that tiny little dollop, I can get it to cover from my wrist to my knuckles. And I can still spread that out even more and thin that out. So if you have the patience and you like working that way, then this may be the product for you. Again, I think it's an all-purpose. You can use it for sort of everything. And I'm so glad that I have this. And this amount, honestly, would last an entire lifetime. In fact, I could divide that into 4, share this with 4 different people, and it would last them their entire lifetime. So that's how little you need to use of that. I mean, just gorgeous. Gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous. And it just hides everything. I don't know if you can even see that, but I mean, wow. Whew. Okay, and the last product, very rare for me to buy it in this type of packaging, but I don't use this for my face at all. I use it for this area here, the décolleté, which I never had any sort of issues with except in the last 2 years, or the odd mosquito bite in the summer, a little bit of discoloration. I have had, you know, a little pimple pop up now and again, and I don't know why. I've never had a pimple in this area my entire life, and all of a sudden, one day, boom. Not very often, and I just sort of take that and do that. So that's all I use this for. I don't use it really for my face, but it's just one of those, and I don't know what it is. It just matches my skin tone perfectly, and I don't have to do anything with it. I don't really have to spend a lot of time hiding anything. I just kind of go like that, and it's good. And this one happens to be beige. And I don't even know why I brought this out, because, of course, Scott Barnes, his makeup line is now defunct. Although they do say he's going to relaunch, but I haven't seen it so far. So there you go. I'm so sorry this was still 18 minutes, but hopefully that's helped you out somewhat. And if you have any questions, please leave a comment and I will definitely get back to you. Thanks so much.